Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian as a Weirdo. I literally just walked in the door like 3 minutes ago, threw myself together a very quick sandwich, and I'm going to eat it in front of you. Not my favorite thing to do, but it is what it is. Um, I had a doctor's appointment. Fixing to say, "Are you ghosting me?" No, Beth, I am not. Welcome in. No, I'm not ghosting. Not ghosting anyone right now. It's been a whirlwind of a day, which is why I'm like rolling in here on two wheels. I got my blood taken among other things, and it's just been, there's a lot of activity that's happened today. So um I guess I'll start from the top, and I will try to eat and not talk while I'm eating, because that grossness is not really anyone's fantasy, right? um so let's start with Scotty is like, give me attention, and yeah, but then he goes and hides when I give him attention. So I did not sleep last night, and that is uh, not great. And On one hand, because bipolar people really, really need to like keep a good schedule and not miss sleep. Hey everybody, welcome in. Thank you for the time. Um, and Everybody needs sleep. It's an important like human function. But I find that often when I do lives and I go pretty late, it's hard for me to kind of like turn off, like, within a reasonable time frame to go to sleep. And I could not get tired at all last night. um, and there's like a couple things behind that are pretty relevant to my storytelling now. So, um, other than the fact that I think I talked about the psychiatrist that I didn't like. That psychiatrist wrote me the wrong prescription for the sleep meds that I take. So um, that's part of why I didn't sleep. And so I was up all night, and which meant I was coming up with really great ideas, because that's what middle of the night Ian does. That's where I shine, in the middle of the night, with no one to bounce ideas off of and tell me that maybe they're stupid. So, so I'm just like thinking of all these ideas of fucking whatever, and and then in the morning, I see that Carrie is live, so I go on Carrie's live, and she's got Maureen and Froggy Went a Knitting on there, and you know, prior to this, the fundraiser that is tomorrow morning or early afternoon, or maybe some other time depending on where you are, was canceled, uh, the fundraiser itself, but I was still going to have the time where I was online and we could just, hang out, because I had scheduled it so far in advance and I talked about it for months. So I figured at least I'll show up, right? Hi, Mom B. Welcome in. Hi, Amy. Sorry, I'm trying to eat and tell about this crazy day. So, so Carrie starts asking about the fundraiser, and I had canceled it a few days before because because I've been sick leading up to it. I wasn't sure about the interest of it. I hadn't had the chance, because I was so sick for the past 3 weeks, to kind of like follow up with all the people that I wanted to follow up with, that I wanted to participate. Um, so I just felt like, it was going to kind of, I was going to put a lot of effort into this fundraiser, and it was going to kind of fizzle out. And I've had fundraisers like that happen before. And I just kind of felt like, I was like, you know what, let me just let me just let this like kind of be what it seems like it's going to be, which is, you know, a, a non-event. But I'll still have that time set up. So Carrie is like, tell us more about your fundraiser. And I was like, I kind of had to cancel it, but then she didn't see my message, and she was like, oh, you should come up and talk about your fundraiser. And so I come up and I was like gonna talk about it being canceled, and in a wild turn of events, fundraiser's back on. Long story short, fundraiser's back on. The one thing that will not be auctioned off tomorrow is the blanket that I've been working on. Someone has already put in a high bid for that, and so that is checked off. However, there are other items that will be auctioned off 30 minutes after the fundraiser starts. So I figured give people a little time to show up if they're going to show up, and then I'll do it. So it's going to start at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I apologize. And 30 minutes later, there'll be, you know, fundraising or auction activities. So 2 items are going to be in there. Yeah, it was super nice, and I'm super excited. And people were like, I'll share you out, and I was like, that's super cool. Like, what in the hell is happening? Like, of course, this happens the day before, and like I've already kind of like reset like my like, okay, you know what? It's okay that this isn't happening right now. You know, that's just how life works, and I'm just trying to roll with it. So I'm up there, hella sleep deprived. The fundraiser's back on. I've been talking about potentially selling some furls. I sell like 5 furls right right there, and so that also was a surprise, just fucking left field, which I appreciate, but was not prepared for that. Uh, and all of that happened, and then, you know, I hung out with them, you know, after post stream. I hung out with them and crocheted some and chit chatted, and you know, I love Froggy. I love Jennifer. I love Carrie. They're both just super sweet people, and I'm so thankful that they're. Oh, that's so awesome! That makes me super happy to hear, Beth. Yeah, if you can come, that would be amazing. If you know, like any level of participation, including just being there, is great. If you can't be there, that's fine too. I would like to have everyone there, but you know, I understand how things work. So, but it's just, yeah. So that was if things are just kind of happening very quickly, and my brain has been mush. Like if you saw yesterday's live, when it started out as mush at like 5 p.m. Pacific, it hasn't reconstituted itself to being a fully functioning brain since then. So we're going on like over 24 hours of things just not firing up here, which, you know, could be argued that they don't do a great job anyways. So anyways, then I needed to go and get some tests done at the doctor. Gave me a yellow ombre blanket, kind of like the one you were working on. Oh, I bet that is gorgeous. And Carrie's so good at like the mandala style things. This is my first mandala blanket, mandala anything, and it's definitely a totally different style than I'm used to. But I've been having so much fun doing it. I am really surprised because usually with projects that are sizable, I get to a point very quickly where I hate it. I have the attention span of like less than a goldfish. Like I literally have the attention span of a goldfish that has a traumatic brain injury because I got bumped on the head. So it makes sense. But I don't think my attention span was great to begin with, even before the bump. Yeah, great at blankets and wall mandalas. Yeah, she's just everything she makes is just it's magical. And I love seeing the work she does. So I took the bus into Beverly Hills to go to the doctor, and which sounds so fancy. I was like, I'm in Beverly Hills. The streets don't smell like pee like they do where I live. And then I basically like hauled ass to get back here. And that has been my entire day thus far. And I did get some vaccines, so I kind of have slightly like not full dead arms, but like I got punched in each arm, which that happens. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. It's been over an hour, so we shouldn't have anything too obscene from that. But yeah, I got some yeah. So like I was thinking like I'm gonna be on the bus and I'm gonna be crocheting and I'm gonna be like trying to get my arms to work. So, but luckily it's not that bad. And yeah, so I had an EKG. It's been a while since I've had one of those. One of my doctors said that I should get one because of the medications I'm on. So it's been a while, but I got electrodes put all over me and places that I don't feel super comfortable with anyone in the world seeing or even existing on my body. So it happens, but that's been the day. But I'm super thankful for how this morning turned out. I wish sleep was involved between yesterday and having that great news this morning, but everything can't be perfect, right? So that's just how it is. And so I'm super thankful for that. I am going to send out one more thing. So I have to. So there's all this stuff for the fundraiser that I haven't done. So the items that I'm gonna put up for auction. I'm gonna put like a little PowerPoint together so that I can show that, screen share that for the fundraiser, and then I was gonna do something else. I'm gonna crochet. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna put down my rainbow cardigan or the cardigan for a second, and I'm gonna work on the blanket. It feels appropriate to do so. I'm gonna eat, and I'm going to have a ginger ale. Probably gonna do something else, but I forgot. But we'll figure it out together. We've got time. This is just the very beginning of what could be a very long live or a very short live, depending on if I just hit a wall and I am very sleepy. But thus far, I have not been sleepy, which is not a good sign. What are you gonna do? Uh, And I'm also going to mute so you don't hear like every notification on my laptop, because I'm sure that is annoying. That would be annoying to me, but maybe it's not. You need to get some good sleep tonight. Yeah, I fingers crossed that that's what is happening. So yeah, if you are working on something, please let me know, because I always love hearing what everyone else is working on, because I live vicariously through all of you. And I'm also gonna eat a sandwich, so it's giving me time to eat. So in the middle of the night, I set up my AliExpress, because I was like, why not, right? Why not try to use a knitting machine when it's like 2 a.m. If I know D's Creative Hands Crochet, I do not. Crocheting a rainbow sweater. Ooh, that sounds so cool. I don't, but I can. Having a hippy dippy poncho contest. So, are you designing the poncho, and like the vibe is hippy dippy, or is there a particular pattern and it's like you pick the colors? The doctor is keeping you on leave from work. Yeah. It seems like it makes sense, and but you know, I know. Well, I don't presume to know how you feel. I know how I might feel in that situation, but I was like gonna be like, oh yeah, you probably feel like this, and I was like, I should shut up, because don't tell people how to feel. That's weird. Um, but how do you feel about that? That's how a normal person would react, right? They would ask you how you feel. Okay, you can use anything, design or not. You're making a 1971 poncho. That sounds so rad. That sounds so cool. I would love to see what you end up making. I don't know if and if you've been here before and I have forgotten, I do apologize. I have really bad memory, brain damage. Was that a cattail? Yes. Yes, I have a cat named Scotty. His tail looks like a feather duster. And he's just jumping around because I've been gone all day. He is a Scottish fold and a major. You can say whatever. Don't threaten me with a good time. But it's 2 rectangles. No, I haven't. Cool. Okay. Well, cool that I did not forget you if you had been here. So we have a Facebook group called Army of Weirdos. I will put that in the chat if you would like to join. If you have a Facebook, no pressure if you don't want to join or if you don't have a Facebook. But I like to use it as a place for us to show off our work. Just because like you can't show it off on YouTube unless you like bring someone up, and a lot of people don't like coming up. Oh, hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. Do you like turkey? I've never seen you eat turkey, but you act like a little turkey. So, but so the Facebook group and Crystal, my better YouTube half, is good at getting the link. I can never get the link for the Facebook group, so I just search for it like a Neanderthal. So it's called Army of Weirdos. There's a couple groups with the same exact name, and we are the one with the green pillow. Um, so we're pretty easy to spot, but it's a great way to show off your work, and also, if you have questions, if you are like, I learned this new technique and it's super cool, or you see this new technique, you want to share it with people, or you want to just save it for later. I do a lot of saving for later because I just see a lot of stuff that inspires me, and I get excited to do it. Most of the stuff I don't end up doing, but maybe one day. Do you want to come on camera? Showing how cute you are? How you look like a Muppet baby? I just got like a bunch of the new feature YouTube just made called Community Spaces. No, I haven't. I have totally. I know that there's. Yeah, like I was like, I know that there's the community tab. Um, let me see what's up. Do you need to go into like? I don't know how to find it. So I see community, and I see comments, viewer posts, mentions. Hmm. Yeah. I will need some. It's like your own Facebook page where people can actually share it. That's awesome. And see, like that's what they needed. Yeah, when I go into the studio, um, I see and I click community. I have it's just like comment, and then let's see. I wonder if I view my channel. Sometimes you have to look at it like 18 different ways to figure out what the hell is going on. Yeah, you're right. They did change it to posts. I didn't see that. Customize channel. Yeah, I don't see. I don't see it quite yet. Maybe I'll have to look at some other people's page and see see what it looks like. Mm-hmm. I think you will quickly find that other people are much better at YouTube. Let's see. I need to go to Nightbot and turn on all of the auction stuff that I turned off. Okay, so at least we'll get some reminders about the link to donate tomorrow. I was trying to not get like every single crumb in the world in my bed. It's not the ideal situation. You mostly crochet bags, mushrooms, strawberries, fairy houses. Oh my gosh. Oh, that sounds so cute. Oh, nice. Do you sell them on like Etsy or in person or yeah? Tell me a little bit about yourself. I like it. I like learning about people. I forget a lot of details, but it's not like learning. Man, that sucks. Really, yes, it is hard to get with their birth. Um, but nice, very nice. I've seen mushrooms, and then I've seen strawberries. I've seen less strawberries, but the fairy houses, I think that sounds very unique. Um, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I was talking to Crystal about this, and like we like there are so many uh, things that people buy handmade, and I know it's not only crochet, but there's so many things that people buy handmade because they understand that like materials that you need so many freaking materials and time to get good at things and the craftsmanship and the hours that go into things that all of that is labor. But then like crochet is seen as like a um as like a grandma thing, and therefore like anybody can do it, and we have a lot of people learning how to do it, which I like that people are learning how to do it, but that doesn't mean that everybody can do it, and it does take time to get good at it. You're a mom of 4 daughters. One of your daughters passed away 4 years ago. I'm very sorry to hear that. They're all adults. um, it sounds like as because they're all adults, at least you had um, you know there's never enough time. I was gonna like it was like you had a good amount of time with that. That's bullshit. Like I can't even like say that with like a shred of like me trying to like word my way around. Like I'm. It's just that's sucks. No parent should have to go through that. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Um, I'm glad you have 3 daughters with you still, but you know, um, that's very hard. I imagine. Lydia, hello. I do want to say hello to you. Um, you just kind of came in at the moment where I was trying to use words to make sentences. You used to sell at craft fairs, had it all figured out, lots of small items, mini backpacks, keychains, chapstick holders. I I always think that's interesting, the chapstick holders, because I've had some commissioned chapstick holders, and I'm like, it's one of those items that I would never think like people like that is the type of item that I'm like people buy chapstick holders just because you always think about what you would use and you would buy and all of this stuff, and um, for me, personally, I would never buy a chapstick holder and put it in my like pocket or something. But those things are definitely popular. That's smart. See, I would not have gone that route. I would have, you know, that's interesting. Very, very cool methodology that you've got there. Yeah. ear just started ringing. Sorry. I was like, I'm gonna be cool, and then my ears like yeah, here's the story. People won't want to come up to your booth and want to talk about their grandma or aunt who crocheted. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I wouldn't have thought about, well, yeah, so when someone comes up and they're like, oh my gosh, my grandma used to crochet. Oh, okay. Then they feel, see, you read my mind right there. Feel obligated to buy something, and they're all my small items. Yeah, so it's like guilt-free purchases for them, and then they get that little connection to someone who crocheted. Very cool. Yay. The sales game, it sounds like your sales game is strong. I'm not gonna knock it. It sounds like it works. No? I mean, I don't think it's being manipulative at all. You know, if it works, if it works. You're not like, hey, you have to buy this because your grandma did it or anything. So I see where you're coming from. So I will show off the progress for the blanket. Now the blanket is not going to be done in the same urgency. That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that like a lot of big items, it's like a 50-50 if those types of things will sell. But that's a good idea. So this is my blanket right now. So it's like a slightly large on the large sides, baby blanket size. And I am about halfway through the steps. I'm on round 40, and part 6 of the 10 parts to get this blanket done. And I've got some time to do it, but I have a commission for a cardigan that's headbands with flowers and leaves. Little girls and festival girls like them. I was thinking about doing some pride items, and I was thinking about doing some headbands, but I think that that's really cute. That's something that people like to wear and have. I love that. And I just feel like little cutesy items that are actually wearable that people can have. I think that even when money is tight for a lot of people, practicality, if they can justify it as a practical item, oh, I'm gonna wear a headband, like headband is a practical item, then they can make it make sense. Make it make sense. But then, so like I like to crochet a lot of stuff that is, I won't, I like just kind of odd or like unusual things, and I don't often remake a lot of items, which doesn't really work well in like a craft fair environment. I've never done a craft fair. I've wanted to do one, but they'll either be like cost prohibitive or have you ever started and or finished a Sophie's Universe? I don't know what a Sophie's Universe is. Um, and yeah, but I kind of do a project once and I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I don't ever do it again. And doing it over again is kind of very mentally or like spiritually draining to me. I'm like, oh, I gotta do it again. Ah. It's hard to keep remaking things. Yeah, some people can just. I don't know. I did this because like they're just like they're knitting. They're not. I guess I was. That's the tension hand. But yeah, I don't know how some people can make the same thing over and over and over again. And I mean, that is probably what makes them successful and as booth sellers and whatnot. Um, Now, the one thing I do make over and over again is uh, crochet packers, which are used by non-binary, trans masc, trans men, um, people who are cosplaying, whatever, to create like a synthetic bulge in their pants. And it's very gender affirming. Me, as a trans man, like I have one myself, and I have had the like I think I've at this point um, uh, in Etsy like I've like made I've and sold over 100, which for me is just such a rewarding thing to be able to give back to my community and give that gift of feeling a little bit more like yourself and feeling, you know, like just it's just such a incredible feeling that I don't think that I would know how to explain to people um, who didn't have that particular, you know, um, quirk about them, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. And there's a free pattern. And I don't like withhold it. So if you want that pattern, I would be happy to share it with you. I was super lucky that I was part of the. Hey, Carrie, I was talking about you earlier. Welcome in. Uh, I beautiful blanket when you're working on, and no one finishes it. It's hard. Well, I will definitely not be starting it because this one apparently is not that hard, and I there have been times where I'm like, if I didn't have the video to accompany this, there's no way in hell I would know what this person is talking um, about. Um, so, uh, yeah, now I know to not do it. Thank you for the warning. Um, I was talking about the craziness of not expecting to have the fundraiser tomorrow, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, and then the fundraiser's back on. Carrie started 4. If Carrie can't finish it, then yeah, no freaking way. I'm just gonna throw my. I was gonna say throw my hat in the ring. Throw my hat out of the ring. Keep it out of the ring. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I can barely finish very small, simple projects sometimes. Um, but I will respectfully decline on that because I know myself, and that's an important quality that I do have. I don't have a lot of great qualities, but that's one. Now, does that mean I do start stuff that I think I'll finish and I don't finish them? Absolutely. One of them is a one weight. Oh, yeah. No. No, 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 no. Meh. Oh, I was supposed to chain one in between these. That makes more sense. I am a little sad that not. Well, I know that you all can't see a good view of it, so I'm not upset at anyone here. But out in the wild, no one said anything about my amazing Hex Girl shirt, which I love Scooby Doo, and I love the Hex Girls, and um, that like no one mentioned my shirt. It's a cool shirt. It's a badass shirt. I'm sorry, but I digress. Now, when you sign up your team for the Alzheimer's fundraiser, they send you a shirt for the longest day. Even though today is technically the summer solstice, they're doing the fundraiser tomorrow, or they said, hey, do the fundraiser tomorrow, which, technically you could just do any day you want, um, but but yeah, that's why the fundraiser is called The Longest Day, and they sent out a shirt, and so you could pick your size. So I got a nice purple shirt, which I don't have any purple shirts. You thought it was Beetlejuice. I do have two Beetlejuice shirts, so that's not a crazy assumption here. Not by any means necessary. You don't know anything about the Hex Girls? So there was a movie released, I believe it was in the late 90s, early 2000s, uh, in the series of Scooby Doo movies that were released. And their first appearance was Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Tim Curry of yes, Tim Curry of It fame, of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know how many other movies that you need me to list to tell you that's Tim Curry. Tim Curry voices one of the main characters, not in the Scooby Gang, but in as another character in the movie. But the Hex Girls are a band that plays in the movie, and they're kind of goth and spooky and all this stuff, and so they're prime suspects for when hijinks and scary things happen. That clearly it's the creepy goth witchy people, and spoiler alert, it's not, but they are in, and they come back in a couple different movies and show versions of Scooby Doo. I love Scooby Doo. I love all versions of Scooby Doo. So it's important, especially if you are kind of like a goth or alternative person of my age. This was a very important time in your life. Yeah. Let me I won't I will share their I'll share a video of um that if you want to watch you can. I won't play it because I will get a copyright strike. Um I feel like I'm getting to share, you know, part of my childhood with you all. Dog just scared the crap out of me playing with an empty water bottle. You didn't see Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it was cool either. Honestly, they've played it just to death. But you know, I think it's one of the it's a cult classic, and you watch it so many times after it came out, no matter when it is. If you watch it more than once, you watch it so many times that you get to the point where you absolutely hate the movie. Well, I did. I just was like, this movie goes on forever. It was so long. But I mean, I like the first half, and then I'm like, I need to get out of here. I'm done with it. Yeah, he's a iconic and very distinctive actor. You hear his voice, and you know you can't get copyright strikes unless you've monetized. Well, that is correct, but they will mute or take down your video depending on things. Because I've had like I've had things just taken down. So, but yeah, I'm not close to getting monetized anytime soon. So, good to know though. Yeah, my arms hurt so much from the shots. I'm like, I know I have to like move. Excellent question. I know there is some like so I first of all like I cuss a lot, and like I know that there's like that advertiser friendly like uh thing versus being monetized. Like you can be monetized but not necessarily like friendly to a lot of like family friendly to a lot of advertisers. Um, so that might be like if your channel is just known for being like potty mouth, I guess some, and you could still get advertisers and things like that. Um, but you're not classified as family friendly. But I have heard that like there are certain words that you cannot say, or you should not say, or you like, or YouTube doesn't push your videos as much, which those make less sense to me. Some of them make sense, but some of them do not. And it kind of pisses me off, to be honest. But I don't know if that's true or if it's not. I don't know. I'm just going along with what everybody tells me at this point. But I'm not gonna really censor my mouth because just I nah, pass. There's a lot of channels that do censor their language, and if people don't like my language, I encourage them to go places where they feel comfortable. But and not to be like get out of my channel, but like I'm just being me. I think I tried to censor myself more at the beginning, but now I don't care. I cannot be bothered. Slip stitch into cluster. You wouldn't recognize me if I did. Yeah, you're like, who the hell is that? Yeah, it is definitely a weird alternate universe kind of version of me. But if you look at like I've had this channel, I think a couple weeks ago, it was saying that I've had this channel for 12 years, but I haven't posted the whole time on it. Like I've taken big long breaks here and there, or like, there was one particularly like long break. I started as a makeup channel, and then kind of, I think when I first became disabled, I started crocheting, and I came back to YouTube, and I was still planning on going back to work eventually, so I wasn't gonna like, act a fool because I was gonna be in a corporate environment eventually. But now that's not happening. So yeah. And then also, like I started and I was, watching Kelly's Crochet Adventures and Triple C, and they're not raunchy and disgusting. They're very and not that I don't love their channels, because they're great, um but you know I'm just a filthy person. It's just who I am. So I held this up earlier before you came in the room, Carrie. So I figured I was going to work on this today and tomorrow for the charity. So this is what it looks like right now. Ends are not sewn in, and obviously there's quite a bit of space to go. But I'm so happy with how it's turning out. So happy. You're offended. I know that you have a potty mouth too, Amy. So don't even play. It takes one to know one. When you have an intrusive thought and you're like, should I just let this play out or not? I was like, I should go get some popsicles, because being sick for the past couple of weeks, I've had popsicles. Thank you. I've had popsicles and it's helped my throat, and also I love popsicles, so whatever, I have them. And I'm like, I should put some popsicles on my arms where I got my shots, and I'm like, that's fucking stupid. And this is why we don't let the intrusive thoughts win. Yep. So I was hoping to take some of the yarn that I bought to dye, and to put it through my circular knitting machine, so that I could create a dyeing blank, and dye it while it was knit up, for easier self-striping and stuff like that. However, I forgot how much, well, I guess so. I've tried to put dish cotton through a knitting machine, and that's just a big old no-go. But I thought, yeah, use an ice pack. Yeah, see, that makes sense. I don't know what you were saying. My youngest daughter came in here with our Walmart delivery. Heard you say offended. Oh, Amy was saying that she's offended by my language, which I know is bullshit. um, and but so I got 2 3-packs of the Caron all day cotton. It's new. It's really similar to the 24/7 cotton from Lion Brand. I just got a good deal on this from Amazon, and it's mercerized. It's chain spun, 4 weight. However, regardless of, so I was like, it being chain spun. So I was like, it being chain spun, it's going to go through my machine a lot easier than this, like, this yarn that loves to split, right? Because, like, split yarn is awful in knitting machines. It's awful. It's pretty much awful in all scenarios, right? But the yarn didn't go through the machine easily at all. Not because it was splitting. It split a little bit at the beginning, but yeah, it's brand new. It's nice if you like mercerized cotton. The price that I got for it for a 3-pack was way cheaper. I think it was. I don't want to give a number that's like totally wrong. Let's see. But the real problem that I face with my knitting machine is that the yarn has no stretch because it's cotton. Cotton yarn doesn't stretch. And there needs to be a little bit of give with the yarn. Otherwise, it feels like you're going to break that machine apart. And I didn't want to do that, believe it or not. So Hirschner says Big Twist Supernova, but it's $10 a skein. But Hirschner's does have sales frequently, so hopefully. I don't remember what Supernova looks like. So the price that I'm seeing right now is $13.92 for a 3-pack of the Caron all day cotton, 3.52 ounces, and 100% mercerized cotton yarn. $13.92. So it's $4.64 scheme. When I looked at the yardage and compared it to 24/7, it made more sense to buy the Caron. But my machine was like, please stop doing this. So I think instead I'm going to crochet a blank. I'm going to double strand a crochet blank, and I'm going to dye it like that. So, because I have been interested in seeing what it would look like to do some color work on a blank. And then having it double stranded means that you have identical yarn. But is it way more work, which means that I would have to charge more? Yeah. So I don't know. And dyeing cotton, you're already charging more than a lot of people want to pay anyway. So I don't know. Probably not worth it, but maybe worth a try, because I don't have a lot of room here to set up like a self-striping. Feel icky. Oh no. Yeah, go lay down. Rest your beautiful head. Honestly, if you got this tomorrow, it would match your head. Like the purple matches your hair so perfectly. It's like you knew what you were doing when you dyed your hair purple. You planned it all along. Okay, what am I doing now? Okay, so I am on row 40 and I have done 2 of the 4 sides. I just ate something gross. Ugh, that is not fun at all. Yeah, I had to talk to my doctor today about like my ARFID getting a little bit worse, which I haven't talked about my eating disorder in a while because it's been fine and managed like without a problem really. But ARFID is it's really common in people who are neurodivergent, so people who are ADHD or uh, autistic, and like on the spectrum or both. Um, but it is like a sensory thing, so it's it might not be that the food itself is gross, but the texture freaks them out, or the color, or something like that. And When I started getting a yarn collection, I needed to be able to wind them into cakes as the skeins got smaller. I learned how to wind on a paper towel. Smart. Um, and so I but like the thing is, I'm not good at sharing fridges and kitchen spaces with other people, and that's what my living situation is now, and was when I was at home, and so sometimes like I just get nauseous and like uh, you know like more than like what's normal, I guess, and and there's also like food trauma, but I don't want to get into that. So so uh, and usually that's why how they distinguish RFID from like other just like picky eaters. Like people who have RFID aren't picky eaters; they're just usually traumatized from being forced to eat stuff that really feels wrong to them. But So I talked to my doctor a little bit about it today, and got a refill on my nausea medication. It's like just like a you know um, nice little like calm down to the stomach, because like sometimes I'll walk into like my living situation is like I have my own private bed and attached bathroom, and then I share a kitchen with 2 other people. And so sometimes like if they're cooking, or if I have to open the fridge and like something smells weird or has gone bad, and I'm I'm gonna vomit. Yeah, yeah, it's not fun. But it I didn't know about it until I was much older. Um, I I don't even know how I found out about it. I might have had a psychiatrist tell me about it. I'm not sure. Um, but but my older sister has it as well, and I like kind of like mentioned that a little bit. ADHD, OCD, and insomnia. Yeah, that's a fun combo. I do not have OCD. I do have insomnia, but it's kind of like linked to other things, so it doesn't get kind of called out by itself. Um, OCD is a beast. My ex had OCD, and it was very hard on her. I know that there's different aspects for everyone, um, but there were a lot of things that I did not know about OCD. It's and I have ADHD, and it's a lot more complex than just like I can't pay attention. So um, always finding out new things. I wish they made that information like a little bit more accessible so that people could get diagnosed and helped earlier in their life. Um, but what the fuck do I know? Nobody asked me anything. Yeah. Well, after what you were talking about, that makes perfect sense. And yeah, PTSD days when it's PTSDing, whew, it will knock you off your feet so bad. So I'm so sorry that you went through that. It's not fun. Hmm. Yes, yes. Livers are like it. Like on one hand, it's amazing what we can do to them, and they keep kicking. And on the exact same hand, they are ready to just fucking give up the goat. Like they're just like, I can't, I can't, I can't. Like I take several many medications, and I think every single one of them like puts a direct target on your liver or some organ in your body, um, and I've been on them since I was 15. Like you know, it's like that's a lot. That and even with constant testing, it's you know they're gonna have to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like yeah, yeah, it can take a lot, and then it's like, oh, you know what, bitch, I'm back. I'm gonna make you miserable this time. I first didn't understand what you mean. That Beth, I think that is an incredible show of your compassion and that you are willing to listen, and even if you didn't understand it, like that you are willing to listen and try to understand and try to be empathetic. And I mean that really says a lot, because when we've got things going on in our brains that seem like the only way, sometimes like the people around us compound everything and make it that much worse. And so to be around someone who's like, okay, and like, let me, like, tell me more. Like, that's such a supportive, just that brief description is such a supportive way to approach something that you don't quite understand, but you're willing to listen to. And I think that's really beautiful that you're willing to be that person, because not everyone has that level of compassion, and it's hard. It's hard. Like, I don't deny that it's hard. Yeah, yeah. I swallow like heavy metal pills every day. It's super cool. On the plus side, I think eventually I will become a battery. Not sure though. Yeah, intrusive thoughts are awful. Yeah, I had a pretty bad bout a couple days ago, but you do pop up. Yeah, I think people who you can talk to about those thoughts, so that they don't stay in your brain, you can get them out, and kind of like they can start to dissipate a little bit. That is very helpful, for the most part, and a lot of people don't have that, and you know, yeah, yeah. I'm sure that is difficult, and also, like, we don't want the people we love to suffer with anything, um, and so to watch them go through hard times, um, is tough. Yeah, as an adult, hey, you can talk. That's cool. So I guess I would ask, well, first of all, the pronouns that your child wants to use, what are they? Just to start out, so I can kind of talk a little bit. So pronouns can be she, her, he, him, they, them. They can be something different. Um, all, any. Okay. Um, so, uh, so names are an incredibly, interesting yet difficult thing, uh, as a trans person, because it's, having that name that you were previously attached to starts to feel kind of like if you were sunburned and like you're, like before you peel, like your skin's real tight, and you're just like, just peel off, like it feels very constricting, because it doesn't feel consistent with who you are, and you might even attach kind of expectations of how people expect you to be, and with that name. Now, I'm going to just lay this out here, and I don't mean any offense to it, but them changing their name has nothing to do with the quality or the name that you gave them. I had a family name, and it is a very important name in my family, but for me, it was not me. And I love that name for somebody else, but not for me. I at first I hated it, actually. I hated it because I attached all of these things to that name that weren't me. And I like, my parents struggled with pronouns, and my pronouns are he, him, and before that they were using she, her. So, there was a distinct change, and then I also changed my name. I didn't settle on Ian at first, but got there soon enough. And, it's still something that my parents struggle with, more so my mom, but it's still something that my parents struggle with. But it's your child is still your child. And that's the thing. This will make your child more of themselves than they ever have been. You will get to know your kid better. And that's the truth. And maybe after exploring a little bit, they'll find out they're not trans. That happens to people. They're like, I might be trans. Explore it a little bit. Try that shoe on. Try this shoe on. Nope, don't fit. I'm going to go back to where I was. That happens. And sometimes it's the journey takes them to a different spot than when they started out. Sometimes they go back to where they started. And I, as, a trans person, I want my parents to know that they get a chance to know me better now. That if they didn't accept my name, they didn't accept my gender pronouns, if they continued to call me a girl or whatever, like, I would pull back more from them, and they would not know me as well. And they wouldn't get to see me in my transition become who I really am, which is fucking, like, so much different and happier. And, it's a small part of me, but just that little bit is that little bit of sparkle that I didn't get to have before. And I think that there are a lot of parents who have this perception that they're losing a child, but you were gaining more of your child. And yeah, Scotty. Yeah, and I would say also, If she uses all pronouns, challenge yourself to try those pronouns, and maybe Alex might actually fit a little bit easier into the flow of that. Absolutely. Yeah. And if this journey shows fruitful results, then, you're just going to get to see more of your kid. And that's cool. Gaining authenticity. Absolutely. Yeah. And, I think that naming yourself is really, really fucking hard. It's really hard to find a name that you think will fit. For most people, it was for me. And then, but then, like, I look at a lot of people I know who have named their kids, and it took months. It took the whole pregnancy to pick a name for their child. Or, even when the kid showed up, they still couldn't pick a name. Picking names is hard, right? Generally. And you've had years to become accustomed to that name. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you didn't even like it when you first, you first heard it, and you're like, I don't know. Naming people is hard. Naming yourself is hard. But it's something that is actually potentially more accurate to the person than a name someone else gave them, because they get to choose that as an adult who's informed about who they are. Just see how it shakes out. It's so much easier said than done to be like, hey, play it fast and loose and see where your kid ends up. It's it can be different and hard, and you might slip up. If they use all pronouns, then the likelihood of slipping up on pronouns is, I think, possible. But maybe not. People can find a way. But if you say the wrong name, apologize. Take it on the chin and keep moving. Because they're telling you who they are, and that's what adults get to do. Babies can't do that. Babies can't tell you what their names are. Thanks, Kiri. But you take care of you. So whatever you got to do. But it's gonna take practice. You're gonna say the wrong name. And be just try to do your best. Some days you might say the wrong name and you might get an earful. Some days it might be like, yeah, it happens. Everybody's different how they react, depending on how many times they're called the wrong name that day. But I didn't think about this when I started using Ian until later on, because people were talking about changing birth certificates and whatnot. And I actually have 2 birth certificates, and I have not changed mine. Being trans, I haven't changed my gender marker, or I haven't changed my legal name. But I have 2 birth certificates, and the first one does not have a first name. And my parents could not decide on a first name for me when I left the hospital. So it just has my last name on it. And 3 days later, they came back to the hospital or wherever they went, and they got my name, my legal name, put on it. So they could not even figure out my name because naming people is hard. So when I changed my name once in my whole time of being openly trans, and they're like, when are you going to stop changing your name? I was like, you couldn't even figure out what my name was going to be. And even 9 months to plan this. So naming people is hard. Picking your own name is hard. You're going to make mistakes because you're human. Be gentle with yourself, but also be open to getting to know your kid more. You know, you obviously care. You know, you obviously care about your kid. You know, I don't need much to, tell you that. Except Chuck Norris is a homophobe. But yes, Walker, Texas Ranger. I did make that reference a lot when I was younger. A lot. I am a child of the 90s. Oh my gosh. Scared the shit out of me. God, I hate that joke. Yeah, that was like my main one. Thanks, Beth. I appreciate that. Gotta go to sleep. I totally understand. I hope you get some great, fulfilling sleep. And I hope that I get some great, fulfilling sleep soon. I hope we all sleep restfully, and it's and then I wake up on time to to have a auction. You hear it daily. Oh my gosh, I forgot we have the same last name. People still tell you that? Really? I that's crazy. I mean, I'm not denying that you hear it. Because yeah, I totally forgot we had the same last name. I'm not used to people having the same last name as me. Good night, Beth. Sleep tight. Duh. Oh, sorry. I never look at people's last names on Facebook. No. Yeah. I think I did the Walker Texas Ranger joke the most. But then I never, yeah, I don't think the whole time growing up, there was like anyone with the same last name. So I could live in that joke and it was just me. Is that your, if you don't mind me asking, is that your maiden name or is that the name you married into? Ex-husband's last name. I never changed it when I got divorced. Yeah. Fair. Gotta come on. Okay. We'll be here. Chilling. Chilling like villains. yeah, I know in North Carolina they limited you to how many times you could change your name once for free, and then any time after that you had to like get a lawyer and change your name, even if it was through marriage. So I didn't change my name when I got married, and you know the ink's not dry, but I'm you know, but then I don't have to worry about now. I don't have to worry about that having used up one of my names or whatever. But I'm always scared that like the minute that I like legally change my name, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I don't think it fits. That was a good call. Such a pretty blanket. It'd be cool to do this with like super like luxe, like fancy yarn, but I'd be too like I get this like paralysis around nice yarn, and I haven't had like a ton of nice yarn in my crochet career, but like but whenever I have like nice yarn, I'm like I don't know what to do with it, and so it just like sits on a shelf and never do anything with it. But um, might as well get married. Yeah, I said I'm going to bed. Yeah, well, yeah. This is kind of late for you. Stick a flaming fork in my eye and never get married again. I feel that sentiment kind of a lot, but I don't think it would be in my eye, or maybe it wouldn't be a fork. What would I rather do? I think I'd rather chop off my arms and legs with a chainsaw. That's what I'm sticking. That's the story I'm sticking to. Like, yes, you get tax benefits, but you know, life requires sacrifice. Yes. But I feel like um, how do I say this? Don't threaten my apathetic ass with a good time. For example, when honestly, I have sent some like insane messages lately. Like I kind of all the time, but especially lately, where like honestly, there it might as well be written in hieroglyphics. And for somehow, I have trained the people that I message enough to be able to read what I've typed, and they respond like I wrote perfect English, and I reread what I wrote like a couple days later, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how did they read this? I can't read this. And so I say something, and they're like, oh, that's really bad. And I'm just like, I'm just conditioning everyone around me to be able to read my gibberish because I can't type. I can't type. I can't spell. I'm hopeless. So are you using some of your tranquil time to crochet, or are you just trying to keep everything just super chill right now? What's the vibe? Or you just trying to like keep the anxiety or anything away? Yeah, the liver is a fickle ass mistress. There, so I'm sure that there's every type of like recovery methodology in Colorado. Um, but a really popular one here in LA, especially because like I was in like sober livings and uh, stuff. I have been pretty much for the past since like October. Yeah, yeah, just totally out of fucking left field. 9 years, like that's crazy. Um, but um, but a lot of people have been talking. A lot of people I know uh, who don't love the AA model, or the A model, I guess we'll say. Um, uh, they're in Dharma recovery, which I know that you know you probably found the recovery mechanism that works best for you. But focusing a lot on like meditation and things like that. And while I'm not in this for substance use, I do think that having like that the kind of structure of dharma seems like it would be good for me, and just to have kind of more because I think like half of it is like meditation, and then I don't know what the other half is, but yeah, that's enough to put you in a state of a lot of anxiety. And when you're talking about your PTSD, is PTSDing? Yes, that makes perfect sense. You've done training in Dharma, it's been well. Very cool. Yeah, I hadn't heard about it until I came out here. Yeah, in North Carolina, everyone just does one of these. So, and like I'm 12 stepping through ACA right now, or ACOA, whichever acronym you use, same thing, but and it's good, and there is like meditation in it, and there, because like a lot of it's talking about like the response, there's heavy emphasis on PTSD recovery in it, which is good, but all of it, you have to like bring everything up to deal with it, and that's just really fucking intense. I'm over meetings. I meet with my coach every week, go to one meeting on Fridays at 7:30 a.m. if I'm up, for people that work as peers. Oh, nice. Yeah. No, yeah, it's exhausting. I think that's fair. Jeez, Nightbot is like, because I'm so bad at changing the thing. At work, I lead meetings 5 days a week. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a lot. I mean, yeah, yeah. You're probably like, I never fucking want to see a meeting again. Yeah. I wanted to start an in-person meeting here, but things, um, not like here in my apartment, but like nearby at a park. Um, that was kind of an offshoot of another meeting, but um, then they moved it to a different location, and since then, like nobody goes anymore. It's not looking good, but I don't really know how to. I mean, I know I could just go and start the meeting and show up and be there, and you know, it would be what it would be, but um, and like no one would show up for the first 2 years, and then people would start trying to maybe, but but yeah, I'm probably gonna wait till the dust settles on the moving location thing. Speaking of, I need to text one of the people in that group. So random, but I like looked at myself. So I trimmed my hair, and oh my gosh, I'm looking at your rainbow sweater right now. It's so gorgeous. What yarn is this? Is this the is this the big twist the bright rainbow that they had? So pretty. Um but oh, I looked at myself. My hair is super short on the sides, and then I see just like yellow curls, and I have some mousse in my hair, but it's not like hard gel. But I looked at it this morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am kind of giving like Justin Timberlake ramen hair. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta change it. This is Joanne's yarn. The big twist, or because I feel like I've seen this yarn color. Either way, it's pretty. I like it. Yeah, also, I want a rainbow tattoo. Let's get rainbow tattoos. I'm sure that on Friday the 13th, some places were doing them. Mhm. But yeah, I think I had that yarn at one point, and I think it grew legs and walked away because I don't know where it is anymore. Um, which is rude. Uh, but yeah, I'm like I don't quite know what I'm gonna do. I think I might do. I think I might have like a little bit of the yellow left, so I think I might bleach my roots and do like orange into yellow, um, so that I don't have to lift my hair up as much, and then um, I can use the rest of the yellow. Plus, I've been wanting to do copper for a while. I just knew that I couldn't do the copper and then do the yellow, or I could, but it would just be a lot harder on my hair. So it would just be easier to do the yellow first. So we'll see. See when I have time to go to Gotham Prof and get some hair dye. Keep forgetting to put the chain one in between this. It's all fucked up because it's fucked up. I think after I finish this round, I might switch back over to the cardigan because I'm gonna. Who knows how long the marathon will be tomorrow, and I'll be working on this blanket exclusively. And so after the auction, um, so I want to make sure that I get some progress done on that. Although I, because the yarn I ordered for that Like, I'm definitely not going to have enough red until that yarn gets here, and that yarn isn't expected to get here until next Friday. And that's just for half of it. And I can't start the other half till the yarn gets here, so I'm gonna get to a stopping point anyways. Whatever. I'll figure something out. Maybe that'll give me time to dye some yarn or something. I can't wait. I hope it's good, and I hope I have enough room somehow. Or do some makeup. Makeup should be fun. Now that I'm feeling a lot better. So there's chain one there. And that there. Top of my ears are like, get these fucking glasses off of me. Oh, there's so many fingerprints. Oh, I got glasses cleaner. Oh, I'm so excited. Get excited. Don't listen. Ooh, so fancy. And it's huge. Damn. It's like a lifetime supply of glasses cleaner. Or until you misplace it in 2 days. Oh, that like blew back in my eyes with the fan. Whew. It doesn't smell like straight Windex, but it smells like close enough to Windex that I wonder if I would have just gotten Windex. And had it be like basically the same price. So I don't think you were here, Amy, but I was talking about wanting to do something because it's a pretty big homeless population right up the street, like a couple blocks up, and the park, and a lot of people are like there's a lot of homeless people all throughout LA, but there's a pretty significant drug problem at this park, and but I wanted to when I was in the bus going past the other day, I saw like a lot of people like dealing with what looked like symptoms of the heat in addition to like what they were already going through, you know? And so I was like, I wonder if I could make something or do something that would be helpful to people in the heat so that they could get a little escape from the sun and heat and or something that didn't really cost any money or was really cheap. And so we tossed some ideas around in here, and one of my one of the, like the first thing I came up with was like to like cut up old towels and to have like a towel that they could like wet, and there's just like a strip of terry cloth basically, um, that that they could wet and keep the back of their neck protected from the sun and would be wet, so it would be cooling them down. Um, and then someone said making hats, and I thought that was a cool idea. Someone said bucket hats. So, so I was like, oh well, like if because I like I could make them out of yarn, but I have to buy the yarn, and that's gonna take time to make each hat. So it's like, you know, the amount of uh, time that and time invested to make each single thing, you know, I'm gonna be limited on the amount of people I can help, and also I don't have a lot of money at all. But but then the bucket hat idea came up, and I was like, oh, I could get like scraps of fabric, or like if people wanted to donate like old towels and make bucket hats out of that, um, because then they could get them wet and it would just be like super cooling on the head. Um, and then it would also function as like sun protection. Um, but it was kind of a bummer. I found this thing on Etsy that was like 99 cents. You just 3 pounds of scrap fabric, and it was like any type of scrap fabric. And I was like, okay, let me see how much shipping is. And shipping was so it was 99 cents for the yarn, and then it was $35 for shipping. And 3 pounds of scrap fabric is quite a bit of fabric, but like holy shit, that's a lot of money. Um, so I think I'm gonna go in a different direction, but to find scrap yarn or scrap fabric when I do that. But it's like that's it. That was a new development as of today, that I actually like looked into how much it would be, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I agree. However, here that is a very easy way for uh, violence to be incited. Uh, a lot of people are hallucinating. Like I like, and like the thing is, like I feel like an asshole even saying that, but like if you like, it's kind of like general LA knowledge that like if you know someone's not, yeah, it's you can't say anything. You can't even barely like make eye contact or do like the southern thing. Like if someone says hi, or like just like saying hi, like and like being like cordial to people, it goes sideways and people want to fight you so fast. So yeah, I wish that because I would do that more. I would promise I would. Now, the general person, I will do that too, absolutely. But if I do not know if someone's gonna freak out and try to like stab me in the jugular, I'm not gonna do that. So it sounds awful to say. Yeah, I live a couple blocks south of MacArthur Park, so yeah. I'm not, I think that it's a like cultural phenomenon of LA drug use, if that makes sense. Like I don't I don't think it's consistent with every person who uses drugs or anything like that. It's just something that exists here that like everyone, even people who are the most like it's crazy. Yeah, yeah, I bet. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like yeah, the whole like saying hi to people you don't know is kind of like a weird thing here anyways. Like people kind of are like, why are you doing that? So like it's not like general kind of like etiquette that I've seen. Like people react like, what the fuck are you? What are you talking about? Like why are you? Just in general. So it, but but yeah, I mean like I still want to treat people like people. I don't want to treat them like sub human beings or like they don't deserve things, but I also like have to interact in a specific way that is the you know seems to be the safest, which is just it is wild that it's different in LA. But yeah, but yeah, I mean it's just yeah. I was thinking like awkward as fuck. I talk to different. Yeah, I I don't talk to people. I don't have to. But like, it's not that I don't yeah, I'm just awkward as fuck. I'm awkward as fuck. I don't talk to people. uh, what was I doing? Yeah. But yeah, I thought like because I was thinking that like my original thought was like how can I keep people with like some level of sun protection. And I was like, well, I can't like afford to just like buy copious amounts of sunscreen. I can't afford to buy them tons of water bottles. There are like water fountains in the park, so they can get some water, but they probably most people probably are not getting enough water. Um, and uh, there's not really a lot of access to shade, or like shady spots. Um, so how can like what kind of stuff could I make? But I did find a free pattern for a it's reversible. I don't know if I would feel the need to sew it in a reversible style, but I did find a pattern for a reversible bucket hat, and so that could, I was like, oh, this could be a pretty cool thing. And then I was like, I could go on like some buy nothing apps and see if people want to donate like towels or like, I don't know, old t-shirts or fucking whatever. Like, I don't know, scrap fabric if they have it. I don't know. I need cake. I've been smoking those Colorado cigarettes. Hey, you do you. More for you, because I cannot have Colorado cigarettes. Although I don't need to be smoking any other type of cigarettes either, but what am I going to do? Oh, I could just quit. No, that's not the one. Not the one. It's pretty. People make such pretty stuff, and I see it online, and I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody's so creative. I make such pretty stuff. And I do make those noises, yes. Nope, those are doubles. Need to be half doubles. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the last. This is the last row of 4 for round 40. You can tell I'm still like slightly under the weather, but also that I haven't worn my binder in like a million years because like it feels so tight, and I wore it to go to my appointment today. And I I don't think I've worn it since I was like in North Carolina. Like I don't even wear it in the airport. Um, so uh, it just feels like it's restricting me and trying to kill me, which is quite rude. Found a Scotty. Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should I do makeup tonight? It's too late night, and I definitely need to get some sleep and prepare for the thing tomorrow. Why didn't anyone say that? Why did you look at me think that I could do makeup tonight? Fools. You're not the fool, I'm the fool, but whatever. 7, 8, 9. Damn, my nose is itchy. How rude. Go to sleep. There, I said it. I'm gonna stay up a little bit longer. Crystal might come on and hang out. I know that usually she's um, busy until 9 Central, so that just happened like 20 minutes ago. So I always put you first. Um, yeah, I mean, I won't be up crazy late tonight. There's no way I'm making it. There's no way I'm making it. But also I have like some other stuff to do. So I think if I stay on and like I want to finish this row, which I only have like 15 more stitches or something. Um, and but also I want to like make the like, and there's only a couple items for auction. But I want to make the little PowerPoint and then kind of just like organize my little setup here so that tomorrow I can just like wake up and like be ready to go if that's what timing allows, because I'm not a morning person. My body does not like being awakened before it has desired to become awake. But I appreciate it. Sleep is so weird for me, so. But I am getting pretty exhausted, so. I won't be up crazy late. That's not gonna happen. Let me see. Because I forgot. So I have. Let's see. I have. What did she send? I thought she sent. Oh, Crystal is not coming up. She's exhausted too. Turn on my murder shows. Yeah, I'm not one of those people who can sleep during murder shows. I always envy people who are. Do I? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Carrie, are you asleep? I know Carrie said she'd keep me running, but I don't know if she's asleep yet. Carrie, if you're awake, please let me know. If you're not awake, that's okay. Okay. Sorry to put you on the spot. I can't remember. Did you say you were thinking of donating something for the fundraiser? I can't for the life of me remember. You're awake. Cool. Yeah, I couldn't remember if when we talked this morning if you had said that you were thinking about donating for the fundraiser tomorrow or not. A baby blanket. Would you mind sending me a picture when you get a sec? I'm gonna make a little PowerPoint. Sorry to keep you from sleep. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, I was like, oh, I gotta put this little thing together. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to log off for the day, and we'll see you all bright and squirrely tomorrow for the Alzheimer's stream. If you haven't set the reminder, you can go ahead and do that. If you want, if you already get my reminders, then it's fine. Or, you can roll the dice or just not show up. Up to you. Anyways, I hope you have a great evening, and I will see you all tomorrow.